India shaped the national narrative around the crisis beginning last year by initially being silent, by initially not conceding that there was a major crisis. But by mid June 2020, when India lost 20 soldiers in a physical violent clash for the first time after 1975 on the China border, it was very difficult to hide the crisis or to say that there is no crisis on the border. Then the narrative shifted towards the fact that India was willing to stand up to a bigger power. The Indian military and the Indian government was giving as good as it was getting. So in terms of, there were a lot of announcements like banning of Chinese apps, putting pressure on certain Chinese companies that we're not going to allow them to function here, and even as recently as that 5G tests would not be the Chinese companies would not be allowed to participate in 5G trials. So a lot of these kind of what would not seem as strategically significant, but a lot of these narrative dominating, media headline grabbing kind of announcements were made, which showed that the that Indians were willing to stand up to the Chinese. Similarly, the quid pro quo military move in August and September was highlighted to show that India had also caught the Chinese napping in a way and gone and taken certain areas, occupied certain areas, which put the Chinese under pressure. Then, when the disengagement happened in February 2021, the narrative was about the fact that India was able to find an honorable solution to a major crisis with a bigger power and able to hold its own. And India had not lost anything. So there was no mention of this, that the status quo ante has not been restored, or the crisis at other places continues to remain there. It was almost as if a closure to the crisis had been achieved. But as you know, the fact remains that the Indian media and the Indian institutions have been compromised over the last few years, and so it is easy to create that kind of narrative in India, which may not be the kind of narrative that was coming from Western analysts or the foreign press, which was being far more objective in its coverage of the crisis.
If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about the Eastern Ladakh crisis, please check out the other videos in our exclusive interview series here on our YouTube channel and visit stratlearning.org to enroll for free in Deterrence in Southern Asia.